Hey guys, today I'm really excited to tell you about the podcast I've been putting out for my AP Biology students. I want to introduce the podcast here, tell you about how to access it and what's it all about, and hopefully you will go find it and listen to it and it'll be helpful. So, this podcast is called Lasseter's List of AP Biology Tips, and you can get it through SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and iTunes right now. And if there's another format that you would like to access it on, please let me know. I may be uploading it to Anchor very soon as well, but those are the top three I have heard that people are interested in listening to podcasts. So SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play, you can find it. So just look for Lasseter's List of AP Biology Tips on any of those platforms. So far we have 6 episodes up. More will be coming. The first is a general exam overview. The second episode is FRQ tips, which has been a really popular one, not just for my students, but for other students as well. The third episode is actually a bonus episode, and it's the audio recording of a video I made on reading and note-taking skills for AP level work, but that one is not an official podcast episode. So episode 3 is all about grid-in tips, so tips for mastering the grid-in questions on the AP Biology exam. Episode 4 is about the science practices, so if you're not sure what those are, episode 4 may be a good one to listen to. And episode 5 is Big Idea 1. And obviously I will continue to put out more on the content, Big Ideas 2 through 4 as well as some other test-taking tips that I have to share. So each of the episodes runs anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. They're not too long, but they hopefully will be useful. So how should you use this podcast? When actually working with podcasts, I don't want this to be a replacement for the class lectures we have, class activities, or the video lectures that we have. But if you want to use it as a supplement to your studying, that would be great. So I like to listen to podcasts when I wouldn't otherwise be studying. So something like driving in the car, or doing like a mundane activity like chores, or even working out or running. That's a great time to put on a podcast because it's time when you wouldn't otherwise be studying, and you sort of have this extra study time built in because it's just audio. Now keep in mind, because it's just audio, you shouldn't be also occupying your mind with something else. So you shouldn't be playing a video game or doing other homework while you're listening to an AP Biology Study Tips podcast. But if you have your AP Biology materials in front of you, or if you're looking at problems that correlate to what I'm talking about, that would be a good use of listening to the podcast. So again, this is a review supplement, but it's not necessarily supposed to be the bulk of your study material for the AP Biology exam. This is a podcast specifically for AP Biology students. So if you're one of my bio students who wants to learn a little bit more, this podcast is really geared toward test-taking tips and mastering that AP Biology exam. So I would recommend my videos and other playlist material that are AP level if you are interested in challenging yourself. But this particular podcast is mostly for specifics study skills related to the test. So again, you can use it wherever and whenever you want, but I wouldn't recommend using it as a replacement for some of our other really important study tools that we have. All right, so lastly, again, this is what it's called, Lasseter's List of AP Biology Tips. I'll put the links to the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play in the description below. And please continue to look for it as it continues to be produced and put out, and I'm really excited about it. Thanks, guys.